north to south, coast to coast. This is the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Telephone number is 844-RADIO-US, 844-723-4687. The president is at the White House, and he's still talking to reporters. Let's go ahead and listen in.
He could have done a good performance. He had no material. It was a fake set of facts that the Democrats used and others to try and do really an illegal overthrow. But we're going to find out about that. Well, the asylum is a big... Say it? So the asylum is a very big ruling. That was a tremendous ruling today. We appreciate it. We respect the courts very much. That helps us very much at the border. The numbers are way down at the border, which is a good thing. Apprehensions are way down because Mexico has now 22,000 soldiers, and they mean business because they know what happens. The alternative is not good for them. It's also good for Mexico what they're doing because the cartels have been running all of the border for years and years, and Mexico is saying, and the president is saying, we got to clean it up. So they've got 21,000 soldiers. They'll probably put up more. But this ruling today on asylum is a tremendous ruling. So Guatemala gave us their word. We were going to sign a safe third agreement. And then all of a sudden they backed up. They said it was their Supreme Court. I don't believe that. But they used their Supreme Court as the reason they didn't want to do it. So we'll either do tariffs or we'll do something. We're looking at something very severe with respect to Guatemala. I've already cut all payments. I did that a year ago. I cut all payments going to Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala. We used to send them $500 million for nothing. For nothing. They didn't do anything except set up caravans. So Guatemala, we're going to take care of, and it won't even be tough. We're looking at a couple of different things. One of the things very heavy is, as you know, Mexico has put 6,000 people on that border. Let me just tell you something. I know you always have a question. You mean my White House aides lied? What about his aides? What about Mueller's aides? He didn't say that at all. You're untruthful when you ask. You are untruthful. When you ask that question, you're untruthful. And you know who else is untruthful? His aides. And Weissman was untruthful. And Weissman got caught just like he did with Arthur Anderson, where he lost in the Supreme Court 9-0. His aides were very untruthful. And they put Mueller... not at all. They put Mueller in a very bad position. His aides put him in a very bad position. And if you were ever truthful, you'd be able to write the truth.
Have you called Boris Johnson?
The Dems have...
Okay. So that was the President of the United States as he walked away from the reporters. We have the additional, we actually have the original part of that. The part that the part that you missed when we were doing the news there. And what I want to do is I want to play more of that press conference from the President of the United States as he came out of the White House on his way to West Virginia. This is the President of the United States. That's an earlier portion of what you just heard on the Wells Report here on the USA Radio Network.
The whole thing has been 3 years of embarrassment and waste of time for our country. And you know what? The Democrats thought they could win an election like this. I think they hurt themselves very badly for 2020. Did I what? I don't know. I really don't know. I never don't know. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, frankly, whether or not he did, it wouldn't matter to me because he did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong because it's so unimportant. It was always a very unimportant meeting. It was only important to the fake news. Go ahead.
It's 16 hours.
No, he didn't say that. Again, you're fake news, and you're right at the top of the list also. Let me just tell you, go back to it's not what he said. Read his correction. Read his correction. If you read his correction, you'll find out. That's why people don't deal with you, because you're not an honest reporter. John?
The President of the United States taking questions moments ago.
They are devastated. The Democrats lost so big today. Their party is in shambles right now. They've got the squad leading their party. They are a mess. Where even you take a look at Scribe and you take a look at so many of the people that were the most outspoken, and they say this was a devastating day for the Democrats. And you know it, everybody else knows it. This was a devastating day for the Democrats. No, a very dumb and very unfair question. Because if he took that totally, he made his decision based on the facts, not based on some rule. So you shouldn't even ask that question because you know it's a phony. Go ahead.
The president calling out what he considers to be fake
The Democrats
news
had nothing, and now they have less than nothing. And I think they're going to lose the 2020 election very big, including congressional seats, because of the path that they chose. Now, who knows where it goes? From what I hear, they're giving up. But I just say, I know them too well. They'll never give up. They'll go back into the room and they'll try and figure something out. This whole thing has been, honestly, it's been collusion. It's been collusion with the media. It's been collusion with other countries. This has been a disaster for the Democrats, and I think we're going to win bigger than ever. Now, I'm going to West Virginia, one of the great states, a state that's doing, if you look at percentage up, I think it's number 1 or number 2 in the country, and nobody would have believed that. West Virginia is doing great. So I'm going to West Virginia. We did have a big case today. You know, we won the asylum case in Washington, which, frankly, you should be asking about that because that's the real deal. I can't believe how nice you are today. Go ahead, give me a question.
That even though he's backed away from it, you actually leave off good faith indictment?
No, because we did nothing wrong. The answer is very simple. Nothing was done wrong. This was all a big hoax. And if you look at it today, nothing was done wrong. Now, I believe what you're going to find a lot of things that were done very wrong, but that's going on now. That's something you haven't been writing about, and that has to do with the other side. That has to do with a thing called investigate the investigators. Let's see what happens. That's going to be very interesting.
Robert Mueller did a good job. Where are you at on that?
Look, I think Robert Mueller did a horrible job, both today and with respect to the investigation. But in all fairness to Robert Mueller, he had nothing to work with. You know, you can be a builder, but if they don't give you the right materials, you're not going to build a very good building. Robert Mueller had no material. He had nothing to work with. So obviously he did very poorly today. I don't think there's anybody, even among the fakers, I don't think there's anybody that would say he did well. Your people, they're saying it was devastating for the Democrats. And even, I will tell you, the two most nauseous and nauseating networks whose ratings have both gone down, way down, even they said this was a really bad day for the Democrats. So Robert Mueller did a poor job, but in all fairness to him, he had nothing to work with, David.
Do you regret not talking to him after?
Look, I saw what he did to people, how he ruined people's lives because they didn't remember a date or something very minor. He ruined people's lives. The Democrats, they took people and they destroyed their lives. They went bankrupt because they couldn't afford the legal fees, and they were good people, many, many people. So when you ask me that question, all they have to do is see how nice this weather is. If I made a mistake and said I was talking to the media and it was a little bit rainy, a little bit overcast, they'd say, well, we have to do, he lied. Let me tell you, I've seen what they've done to people. I've seen how they've destroyed people like General Flynn and so many others. What they've done to people, no, I did the right thing.
President Trump earlier today as he heads to West Virginia. By the way, he was discussing an asylum ruling in the courts, and that is being reported on this afternoon in the New York Times. Zolan Keno-Youngs and Miriam Jordan. A federal judge today let stand a new rule that bars migrants who fail to apply for asylum in at least one country on their way to the southwest border from obtaining protections in the United States. That, by the way, dealt the Trump administration a win. Judge Timothy Kelly of the Federal District Court in Washington declined to issue a temporary restraining order that would have blocked the government from effectively banning asylum for most Central American migrants who have been arriving in record numbers this year. The rule, now being applied on a limited basis in Texas, requires migrants to seek asylum in the first safe country they arrive in, which is in comportment with international law. By the way, in most current cases, the first safe country that they show up in is Mexico. I do not find on this limited record the plaintiffs have provided sufficient evidence of a certain great and immediate harm to meet this high burden, said Judge Kelly. Under the policy, which the administration announced July 15th, only immigrants who had officially lost their bids for asylum in another country through which they traveled or had been victims of severe human trafficking are permitted to apply for asylum in the U.S. Hondurans and Salvadorans have to apply for asylum and be denied in Guatemala or Mexico before they become eligible to apply in the United States. Guatemalans have to apply and be denied in Mexico. The policy reversed long-standing asylum laws that ensure people can seek safe haven no matter where they come from. On July 16th, the day the new rule went into effect, initially in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas, the American Civil Liberties Union challenged the policy in court in San Francisco, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. What a surprise. The case under review today in Washington was filed separately by two advocacy organizations, the Capital Area Immigrants' Rights Coalition and Refugee and Immigrant Center for Education and Legal Services. The groups had asked the court to find that Congress did not intend that mere transit through another country would render an applicant ineligible for asylum in the United States, and to rule the policy did not comply with required procedural steps. Judge Kelly, however, disputed the plaintiff's contention that Attorney General William Barr overstepped legal requirements when he issued the rule. I think at this point the plaintiffs are reading too strictly a limitation on the Attorney General's authority, said Judge Kelly. He also found the two advocacy organizations did not provide sufficient support for the contention that there would be irreparable harm to the plaintiffs in the case if an immediate temporary block to the policy was not imposed. While the rule would impact migrants seeking asylum, the plaintiffs before me are not asylum seekers. They are only two organizations, one of which operates in the D.C. area, far from the southern border. So there you go. So the president has issued a rule that, or the Justice Department issued a rule that limits asylum claims coming to the U.S. by migrants in Central America. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Wayne Allaruth, the capitalist evangelist. I'm here to introduce you to a special company with the potential to be one of the great all-American stories. Fortum Resources is a publicly traded, diversified natural resource company with oil, gas, and mining properties in North America and internationally. Fortum is led by Chairman Mark Bruner, the legendary oil man who built Ultra Petroleum from a 15-cent stock to $200 per share, creating $15 billion in shareholder profits. Mark has 30 years of experience in the oil and gas industry, overseeing contracts with Halliburton, ExxonMobil, and Hess. Fortum has over 350,000 acres of oil and gas resources, and more than half the acreage has been evaluated by world-renowned auditors Deloitte Touche. Fortum also owns the rights to the 180-square-mile City of Gold mining property. Fortum is traded on two global exchanges, U.S. ticker symbol FTMR. Repeat, FTMR. This is a rare ground floor opportunity to capitalize on a proven energy industry legend. Please visit FortumResources.com. That's Fortum, F-O-R-T-E-M, resources.com.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time. you guys have a great product, and I tell my friends about it. And I was actually talking to a guy the other day I just met, and he takes them. So you put out a great product, and I want to thank you and your organization.
I just started using it, and my family's already seen the difference. And I have health issues. I have fibromyalgia, asthma, but all of a sudden everything's clearing up, and I'm feeling better, and my skin's better. My brother said I look 10 years younger already.
Wow. Okay.
My vision is clear. I already see the difference. People are seeing the difference, and my doctor's seeing the difference.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. For a limited time, you can receive a 30% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code USA.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-985-1813 now, and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today, and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-985-1813 now. Again, that's 800-985-1813. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
Does your business spend $500 a month or more on gas and electric bills? Did you know by making a simple free phone call, you can save up to 25% on your bill every month? What could you do with a 25% savings on utility bills every month? Energy deregulation is now available in your state. Making one simple phone call will show you how we can lower your gas and electric bills instantly with no changes to your bill and no enrollment fee. This is a free service. The only thing you'll notice is a lower bill every month. Call U.S. Power and Light right now. Learn how easy it is to lower your utility bills for your business and save money. We promise. So if you spend over $500 a month on your gas and electric bills, please call right now and unleash your savings. 800-941-3381. 800-941-3381. 800-941-3381. That's 800-941-3381.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 844-RADIO-US, 844-723-4687. I am asking specifically a guy named Jim Lafferty, who's a friend of mine, to join us on the Wells Report. He has come up with some statements that I read for you once before, but I want to do again. This is Jim Lafferty. He's a good American. He's a patriot. And he's a real Democrat. He says this: the Mueller hearings confirmed what we all know. Trump and his campaign had a dirty and unpatriotic relationship with Russian agents. Just because it isn't illegal doesn't make it right. Trump attempted to obstruct justice and would have been indicted if he weren't a president. Trump is a liar, big surprise. Barr is a liar, big surprise. The congressional Republicans are liars by extension of their support of Trump and Barr's lies. Trump's answers to his written questionnaires, that's Mueller's questionnaire, were generally untruthful. Gee, big surprise. So all that being said, let me take these one at a time. Trump and his campaign had a dirty and unpatriotic relationship with Russian agents. As I said before, I'm assuming that Jim is talking about the Trump Tower meeting with a Russian lawyer who said that she had damaging information against Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump Jr. went to that meeting and said, hey, let's hear what she has to say. Turns out to be a conversation about adoption rights. And so that meeting went absolutely nowhere. There was no negative information about Hillary Clinton. The supposed information that did not exist was obviously not published, but somehow it's some kind of big deal that there was a meeting there. As far as once again, a dirty and unpatriotic relationship with Russian agents, sort of like Christopher Steele, sort of like Glenn Simpson and Fusion GPS, sort of like the Democrat National Committee, sort of like the Hillary Clinton campaign. They also had dirty and unpatriotic relationships with Russian agents. As I said earlier today, if Donald Trump had an unholy alliance with Russian agents to get negative information on Hillary Clinton, then Hillary Clinton had an unholy relationship with Russian agents trying to get negative information about Donald Trump. If Hillary did not do that, then Donald Trump did not do that. So the reason I'm reporting this is because I can't get somebody who disagrees to join us except for Isaac. Isaac Tate's a great human being, and he spent some time with me today. David Axelrod, former Clinton White House official and Hillary Clinton supporter. This is delicate to say, but Mueller, whom I deeply respect, has not publicly testified before Congress in at least 6 years. He does not appear to be as sharp as he was then, and it helps explain why Mueller wanted his aide nearby. Byron York. Byron York, by the way, is a conservative pundit. This is painful. Yes, Mueller is slow to react, but members are loaded for bear, talking and reading too fast, not putting selected text clearly in front of him. Slow down and be clear. Britt Hume says, fair point. Mueller is still struggling to answer questions, even after questions are repeated, and he's had a chance to look up the relevant portions of his report. Eric Erickson. So Bob Mueller is old, and this hearing is just painful to watch. I don't know who Eric Erickson is, by the way. Mueller's having a hard time following the questions on the first pass, asking members to often repeat their questions. In his defense, the questions can be long and meandering, although it comes across as he's uncertain. Jen Sr., because the Mueller report was written in a plague of double negatives, it's utterly incomprehensible when read back to him. True. Absolutely true. I say this with true compassion, says David Brody. Robert Mueller doesn't look well, and I don't mean to say that he has a cold. Something is off. He's slow and sluggish. You're listening to the Wells Report. We're parsing through the Mueller testimony today on Capitol Hill. Back with more in just a moment.
It is a horrible scenario, but it happens. Dennis writes about his wife. She was diagnosed with leukemia. In fact, she's a 2-time survivor, and in the midst of all that, they ran up over $1 million in medical bills. Thankfully, they're Medi-Share members, and Dennis says they are so thankful for that, how others came together to meet their needs, and that's how so many Medi-Share members feel. This is not health insurance. It's different. You don't have to pay for things you don't believe in, and like Dennis found out, it just works. So if you join Medi-Share, not only do you save a lot of money, the typical family saves about $500 a month, but you know where your money's going each month. You're helping people, and if the time should come, they'll be helping and even praying for you. So yes, it's different, and as more than 400,000 people now know when it comes to healthcare costs, different is beautiful. Find out more. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.